Welcome back to Headlines. I'm Wes Austin, and these are today's top stories. First, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritsker is warning that America under Trump is like Nazi Germany, and he's calling for people to hit the streets. You know, before Pritsker lectures the country on tyranny, maybe he should explain why Chicago's murder rate makes Kabul look like Club Med. Then, up north in Canada, the Liberals won again. They just elected Mark Carney, and he's promising to stand up to Trump after winning a fourth straight Liberal term. Apparently, Canadians treat elections the way Americans treat bad relationships. Maybe the fifth time they'll change. Next, Rosie ODonnell is back giving a marathon rant about Donald Trump and how he is obsessed with her. In this video clip, she claimed that there were dead flies in a bottle of Trump alcohol. Either that's a metaphor for her career, or she's just huffing the fumes at this point. And finally, a California lawmaker has a bright idea: decriminalizing welfare fraud, as long as it's under $25,000. Why $25,000? I guess it's probably because that's how much she needs. Okay, let's dive in. Illinois Democratic Governor J.B. Pritsker, the billionaire heir to the Hyatt hotel fortune, went on Jen Psaki to compare the United States to Nazi Germany.
The dangers that we saw in Nazi Germany, especially in the earliest days of Nazi Germany, are the dangers that we need to react to now. To everybody, it's a 5-alarm fire, everyone. It's time to step out of your comfort zone and step out into the streets and speak up and make your voices heard, because that's the only thing that we have. That's the power that we have.
Pritsker saying that it's a 5-alarm fire and calling for people to go out in the streets almost sounds like a call to violence. But keep in mind, that's how billionaires talk when their gardeners get deported. He says it's time to step out of your comfort zone, which for him means upgrading to Spanx XL Magnum. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney claimed victory in Canada's federal election on Tuesday, securing a fourth consecutive term for the Liberal Party. Carney vowed never to let the United States or President Trump break us, because apparently he wants that privilege all to himself. Meanwhile, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre conceded defeat, pledging to hold the Liberal government accountable. Here's a clip of Mark Carney.
In the run-up to COP26 in Glasgow, we have an enormous opportunity to bring climate change into the heart of every financial decision.
You've got to hand it to Canadian voters. Nothing says we've learned our lesson like voting Liberal for the fourth time in a row. Can an entire country have Stockholm Syndrome? Canada just traded Justin Trudeau for Mark Carney, which is like trading your flooded car for one that's on fire. Rosie O'Donnell was recently on the Jim Acosta show, where she claimed that President Trump is obsessed with her.
Yeah,
when
he
he
seems
was
to be
not the
obsessed with
president.
you.
Yes, he does. He does seem to
obsessed.
be obsessed.
And,
Yes.
and what is that?
Rosie thinks that Trump is obsessed with her. That's like a speed bump thinking cars are obsessed with it. At this point, she doesn't need a restraining order. She needs a Valentine's Day card and a cold shower.
I remember I had somebody gave me, he had some liquor company at one point, and somebody gave me a closed bottle of his liquor with 2 bugs in it. Like there were 2 dead flies in it, and in a sealed bottle of liquor.
Wow.
And I kept.
Rosie claims she found flies in sealed Trump liquor. That's the most creative way I've heard of someone saying, I've been drinking since my uncle's intervention. Next week on CNN, Rosie discovers Trump's face in her toast and Elon Musk in her cornflakes. A California senator just introduced Senate Bill 560, which would decriminalize welfare fraud below an amount of $25,000. The bill would also prohibit prosecutions for attempted welfare fraud and would prohibit someone from being charged with perjury if they're subject to prosecution for welfare fraud. Does anybody else think, holy crap, this lady is committing welfare fraud? Like, how can you introduce that and not have everyone just go, hey, it's pretty obvious you're committing welfare fraud? Look, I'm not saying that the senator has done anything wrong or committed a crime, but maybe check how many of their cousins suddenly qualified for benefits the day before this bill was introduced. Her bill is like a parent telling their kid, "You're not allowed to steal cookies from the cookie jar. Unless it's fewer than 25,000 cookies, then go nuts." At this point, California isn't fighting crime, they're just negotiating with it and losing. Coming up next, California considers a bill allowing you to rob banks as long as you only take what you really need. Thanks for watching Headlines, everybody. And if you were wondering, yes, I did miss yesterday. Sorry, it was a very busy day and it got away from me. But I'm back. Okay, I'm Wes Austin. Good night.